I'm going to teach you how to make one of the most meaningful resin pieces you can make for a pet owner. What's going on, my fellow jewelers? This is going to be a hard one for me to get through. I just lost my dog last year. We had to put her down. She got cancer. She got super skinny and she couldn't walk up and down. She wasn't eating. And so we had to put her down. And I never thought I'd be one of those pet owners that really cared about a keepsake for my pet. But I just lost my bag of hair that I got. I cut it off of her before we put her down and I couldn't find it. And I went in kind of a panic and I was so relieved. I don't know, it took me like 10, 15, 20 minutes to find it. It was just under a piece of paper, but I went into a panic because there's no way I could get this back. And so this piece means so much to me. And I want to teach you how to make it, maybe for you or maybe for a client or a family member you know that lost their fur baby and stuff, because it's so hard. It is so hard when you lose your fur baby, and this is such a sweet memento to keep to remind you of them. So before we get started, make sure you subscribe my channel if you haven't already, but let's dive right in right now. So it's gonna be really simple and easy. There's a few techniques I'm gonna need to teach you, tips and tricks, but look at these beautiful bezels. I found them, I was so excited. I wish they were a little bit bigger, but I couldn't find any bigger. So everything I'm using today, you can look for links in the list in the description below. But before I put my gloves on, before I gear up for safety, I am going to put this on the bezel. I'm gonna make a gold and a silver one today to show you some cool things you can do with them. And I'm gonna cut my resin. I'm going to try to keep it together. I still have tears coming down my face. And I'm going to fold tape over so that I can put my finger on it to hold it down. Like, it likes to slip around and everything, so I do that to hold my finger down. And then I'm going to put one bezel down. Someone said, they've been commenting over and over, but you can roll a pencil over if you want. I prefer, it just gets stuck to me, but you can do that. It's a good method. Or you can just put your finger and put it around your bezel. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this one. We're going to make some resin with white mica powder. Before I do, I want to put on gloves. You got to be safe about this. Gloves, an apron. I usually wear a respirator, and I don't bring my kids in the room because it's so toxic, but make sure you're protecting yourself when you're doing resin, okay? So now we don't need much. These are they're very shallow. You don't need a lot of resin. So I don't want to color it too much or it won't cure properly, because we're just doing a first layer of colored, and then we'll do a clear layer. So I'm gonna just mix this all together to mix the mica powder in. You can just do clear if you want. You don't have to do a colored one. I like colored. Her hair is black, and I feel like the white makes it pop. If you have a white-haired dog, you can do like a black back, or you can do clear, whatever you want. Just think of things that will make the fur in it pop. And so I am just going to mix this together like so until it's all done. And I'm going to go and make a really thin layer for the bottom. And I'm going to do it, you could just do the inside and not do like the toes and everything, but I'm actually going to do the toes as well today. You don't want to fill it too much, especially where we're going to be putting the hair, because there's a couple layers we're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to spread it around to make sure that the resin is covering all of the bottom of it. Now, this one I actually filled too much. I'm going to just scoop some out and put it back in my container, and then try to wipe it away from the sides because you can see it really well when it cures. So yeah, I'm just going to do that, and then we'll get to the next step. You know, one of my favorite things about my dog Jasmine was when she wanted my attention, when she was trying to get my attention and I wasn't giving it to her, she would come up and put her nose under my nose and hold it there. I even have a picture of it because my friend's like, what's going on? I go, my dog won't stop putting her nose under mine. I don't know. She wants something, but I don't know what she wants. And so that was one of my favorite things about her. So I'm going to use my lighter to get rid of the bubbles. I don't want any bubbles. And then I'm going to cure the first layer, just a quick dry. It could be 30 seconds, it could be 60 seconds, but I'm just going to do the first layer, and then we'll get to putting the hair in there. Okay, this next part is hard, and so you don't need a lot. You really don't need a lot, and her hair is so fluffy and soft. Oh my gosh, it really is. But it also likes to go in all different directions, right, at the top and bottom. So you're going to want to clean it off, and then test it. See, that's way too big. Like, it's just way too big. So this can actually be cut in half and use one here and one there. And that's what I'm going to do. I want to try to do that. It's so hard. It's so hard because they don't want to stick together. I might have to use some other hair, right? So I got about the length I want, like so. I'm going to trim probably a little bit more. It's a little hard because again, hair doesn't like to stay together. It likes to just fly away and all that. So you're going to have to try to keep it together. So this next step is important. So I'm going to use these finger gloves. I know what some of you are thinking. I'm not going to say it. Some of you call it different than finger gloves. So I'm using these finger gloves. And the reason I'm using this than my other gloves is because I like to feel the hair. I like to be able to feel it. And these are as close to my skin as possible. And so I like to be able to make sure I'm feeling all of it and getting really in there and stuff. So this next step is super important. Is we're going to dip it in clear resin. We're going to dip it in clear resin. So then I'm going to dip it, and it likes to go all over, and I want to make sure it's covered. And see, some of it wants to come off too. This is the hard part. This is so not the easy part. I'm going to put more resin just to make it easier to dip. And I'm going to make sure it's all coated because it makes it easier to work with. It makes it so much easier. See how now it's sticking together because I'm dipping it in the resin? It's so much easier to work with when it's completely coated. And this is so fuzzy. It's so fuzzy. So I get a paper towel to wipe your fingers down, because if you get hair on you, just that straggly hair, it's going to kind of mess up your project, and you kind of just, it's hard. So we're going to, oh, no, this is still too big for my liking. Okay. And I don't want to get resin on my scissors, but I got to. And I'm going to get it in there, right? And kind of squish it down. I could even cut it more, but I'm not going to. Take away the excess, wipe my fingers, and then I'm going to use my tool. I'm going to use my tool to kind of place it where I want it, like so. And then we're going to put our next piece in. So I'm going to just barely put some resin on to kind of give it a layer down to cover it completely. Like so. The reason I do that is because it covers the hair, because the hair is so good at hiding bubbles. It's so good at hiding air pockets that if you were to do a complete layer over it, one, the hair would kind of float away, but two, the air bubbles would stop popping up. This will help so the air bubbles stay with the hair. Okay, so let's cure it. Okay, so sometimes the hair gets scraggly, and you can actually burn, like there's some that are hanging off right here, and I can burn it off so it's not hanging over. It's just kind of cleans it up. So this is all driving me nuts. Can I just say this whole thing right here is driving me nuts. So I'm going to move this, and I'm actually going to get some packing tape, and I'm just going to clean up. Can I just tell you, hair is one of the hardest things to work with, whether you work with human hair or dog hair. Ashes is so much easier. And if you're finding this very difficult and hard, you can go to my website and order from me, and we can work out where I do it for you, because sometimes you're just like, forget it. I really want it. This means a lot to me, but I don't want to do it. So I can do it for you. I do offer that services to people as well. Okay. I like to do this next step. This is very optional. It doesn't have to be done. I like having silver flakes in the paws and gold flakes in the gold paw, just around. I feel like it makes it pop. So you can always ask, do you want gold flakes or silver flakes in your bezel, whether it's a keychain, whether it's a necklace, whatever, you can offer that to them. So I just like to break it up really well. And then I get some resin, just kind of make it wet, just kind of cover it in there. And then I take my tool and I try to make them as small as possible. Like I break them up like so, and then I'll put them in bit by bit by bit. And I can show you that after I break these up. So I like putting them by the hair. I like putting them near it. I kind of even break it up in the bezel. And just put the flakes all the way around it where the hair is not, right? So I'll put some here. I may put some along here. I'll put some in the paws. And so I think it just makes it really beautiful and it kind of gives it a nice touch. But again, not everybody likes it, so you don't have to do it. This is totally optional. We're going to do a quick dry because I want the foil to stay where I put it, where it's at. And then we'll put on the top layer, the clear resin top layer. That should be good. We just want a quick cure. And now I am going to put a top layer. These little, where the toes are so easy to overfill. So just be careful. Put just a tiny bit just to give a top coat. And then you can go with the paw area, this area where the hair is at. You can fill it a bit more than the toes, but still just be careful not to overfill it. I'm going to put fire on it like so. Oh, I did pop one. Yay. Again, I think I see a hair, so I kind of want to burn that. Yep. If you see a hair straggling going outside of your bezel, you can use fire and burn it off, and it will take it away. Okay. So we're going to cure for about a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, however long it takes on the top until it hardens completely, cures completely. And then we're going to flip it over and I'll put the light on it because it's so important you flip over because it will be sticky on the back if you don't flip it over. That's so important. But I do want to hear from you. I want you to comment below about your stories of your fur babies and stuff. Okay. Oh, look at those. Oh my goodness. They're so precious. They really are. I never thought I'd be the one to be like, I need something to remember my animal by, but I certainly do. Look at that. And no bubbles, y'all. Y'all, we did it. You need to put that layer down in order to eliminate the bubbles from coming up. Ooh, I love it. We trapped those bubbles. Okay, look at this one. Oh my goodness. Now, these bezels are really shallow. They're super shallow. So sometimes it's hard not to get it on the bezel. You can see it, but whatever, right? At the end of the day, whatever. You could do another layer on the back of white, but I want to show you another video. I have a Cricut and I was able to put Jasmine's name on the back, and I want to show you how to do that with resin. I am all about that. So next video I'm going to do showing you how to personalize your UV resin pieces, whether it's keychains, whether it's necklaces. I'm going to show you how to personalize it with a Cricut. So aren't those pretty? So I love these. I love these so much. I think they turned out so great. They mean more to me than I ever thought a pendant or keychain could. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, I'm sorry if you lost your fur baby. It's so hard losing him. It's so hard losing a pet, a family member. And I'm just going to, pray for you right now. Okay, let's do it. So Lord, I just thank you for my viewers, God, for those that have lost their pet, God, whether instantly or over time, God, I just pray, God, that you would just cover their hearts right now, God, the times they miss them the most, the times they're lonely, the times when their pet would have been there or would have done this, God, and it hurts so bad. I pray that you would wrap your arms around them and they would know how much you love them and how much you want to comfort them during this time. God, thank you for pets. They are a gift from you. They are a beautiful gift from you. We thank you for them in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you keep a watch for when I'm going to do the personalization for our jewelry pieces. All right, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.